I'm not crying. You're crying. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. All right, I wanted to do a quick video about this. I wasn't going to, but I was like, there's something I kind of wanted to say because of, basically what my day was like today, and I just wanted to comment about something. But I'm sure you guys already saw it. But there's some tweeting that happened, and then a response to the tweet, which was at first Ray Fisher right here, tweeting out this image, which we've seen before, which Snyder posted, which is something we definitely want to see. I mean, obviously, this is some kind of dream sequence, and it looks very, look at the background and everything. It's cryptic. Apocalyptic kind of crap in the background, spacecraft. But it says, I don't praise Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder for simply putting me in Justice League. I love the fact that he mentioned Chris Terrio because we mustn't forget about Chris Terrio, the writer. We mustn't forget, okay? That's quite important that we got to keep his name floating around the discussions. And I think we even talked about that last night on the vodka stream. But it says, I praise him for empowering me, a black man with no film credits to his name, which that's what I love too. The fact that, and I'll talk about that in a minute, with a seat at the creative table and input on the framing of the stones before there was even a script. Hashtag Borg Life. And then Mr. Zack Snyder quote tweeted, said, you, Ray, are the heart of my movie. Oh, come on. That's just that's got to warm your heart right there. And the main reason why I wanted to talk about this, guys, and because today I actually I've always talked about how when it came to what happened with the Snyder Cut, Ray Fisher, okay, like he said right there, he had no credits to his name. He was an unknown. When it comes to everybody else that's part of the cast, you kind of go, well, yeah, even Ezra Miller was fairly unknown, but now he's part of a different franchise. He's part of the Fantastic Beasts franchise, but I've seen him in other things. I go all the way back to Californication when he was super young, and he played a recurring role on there. But so when it comes to everybody else is pretty good. And then we have Ray Fisher, who got cast in this thing that nobody knew. Everybody was just like, oh yeah, he did theater work, and he played Muhammad Ali. And I remember they were passing around that image of him apparently he probably did a pretty damn good job. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because, he got really dicked out of his story. Let's face facts. Like we've always heard from Zack Snyder that he is the heart of the movie, and we get an origin story of him, and he goes through a lot of struggle. We see the backstory of his mom getting killed, and then eventually we're going to see his dad. And that's going to be very heartbreaking to see both of those. And the reason why I was bringing this up is because earlier today I did a podcast with one of my good friends, which will be up, fairly soon. But we were talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. And he mentioned the fact, because he's a comic book nerd too, that Cyborg is one of his favorite characters. Okay. And then we started discussing because he was never he wasn't huge on Zack Snyder. He changed his mind a little bit about Man of Steel after a bit, but he had disappointments at first. He's had his disappointments with some of the movies, and he thought that, just like a lot of people did 2 years ago, 2.5, probably a year and a half ago, or even a year ago, that the Snyder Cut was a pipe dream, which you've heard many, many times. It's not going to happen. He's like, that's not going to happen. But he appreciated the fan base. And he always appreciated what I was doing with my videos and stuff like that. And then so then when he got caught wind of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then he realizes that, yes, we missed out, completely got deleted out, was a Cyborg origin story. Cyborg. And I even told him during the podcast, I'm like, oh, dude, you're in for a fucking treat, because you're going to get a full-on Cyborg origin story, and he's the heart. He's the base. He's the center of the movie. So a lot of people still don't realize that. And a lot of people might be Cyborg fans. He's not a super popular character. I'm hoping that he does become a popular character, because he's an interesting character. And I really hope that this helps also Ray Fisher's career, because from what we've only seen just little bits and pieces, and I didn't catch True Detective when he was a character on there, but from what I can tell is he's actually going to be a pretty good actor. There's something about that just his cadence and his voice and his presence that is it's going to be something pretty special when we finally see it. But it was just kind of funny how, as we were recording that podcast, actually I think it was a little bit before, That happened, and then we were just like discussing it, and the fact that my friend, it's my friend Seek. I mean, he's been on. I went on his podcast, and he just mentioned like that Cyborg is like one of his favorite characters. And I'm like, wow, you're in for a treat, man. So I'm just kind of wanted to talk about that, and it was also heartwarming. And now I'm just gonna, weep openly, and I'm gonna turn the camera off before I do that. Okay, guys, bye.